Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we've got a very interesting lesson for you all about building your vocabulary. So we're trying to describe personalities. You're going to learn tons of new words.
Exactly, and as you said, we're going to describe people's personalities, so not their physical attributes. We're going to concentrate on how they are in personality-wise and stuff like that.
Their character.
That's right.
So let's take a listen to today's dialogue for the first time, and we'll be back in a moment to talk about some of these great words.
Okay, class, settle down. I have the results of your individual personality tests. I am going to hand them out, and if you'd like, you can read them out loud to the rest of the class.
I'll read mine.
Okay, go ahead.
It says here that I am adventurous, outgoing, and easygoing. It says that I'm a little superstitious and occasionally naive. That's not true.
Well, the test isn't 100% accurate. Is that all it says?
No. It also says that I'm open-minded with great ambition, but that I can also be reckless and clumsy. This is stupid.
Okay. Anyone else want to read theirs?
I'll go. It says that I'm an extroverted, well-balanced person. It says I am generous, outspoken, and very diligent. This is so true. It also says that I am a magnanimous, eloquent, and daring. This is totally me.
Whatever. These tests are baloney.
All right, we're back. So we're going to divide this up into language takeaway parts 1 and 2. So let's start with 5 keywords now on language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
The first adjective that came up was adventurous and outgoing. Outgoing, that's a good one.
Outgoing is a great one. So you think of the word out. That means moving out, going out. Outgoing means someone is very comfortable talking to strangers or talking to people that they don't know very well. Mm-hmm. For example, my brother is very outgoing. He loves meeting new people. He loves starting conversations with strangers.
So the opposite would be shy.
That's
right.
That's
the opposite. Okay, so outgoing. And then it also described this person as being a little superstitious.
Okay, superstitious is very interesting because it's hard to describe since everyone's superstitions are different. In many cultures, there are different superstitions. So, for example, in America, we say that walking under a ladder is bad luck. Mm-hmm. Okay, or opening an umbrella inside is bad luck. Mm-hmm. So if you believe that your actions will bring you bad luck, you're probably superstitious.
Okay, very good. So if you are superstitious, you believe in superstitions.
That's right. So, Marco, are you superstitious? Do you think that black cats bring bad luck?
No, not at all.
No. Interesting.
All right. And this is also an interesting word, a way to describe people who are very believing, a person that is naive.
Okay, you said this already. Naive means that someone generally believes most things that you tell them.
Right.
So if I told you, Marco, hey, did you know that it's supposed to rain frogs tomorrow?
No way. Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh, no.
If Marco believes me, he's naive.
Right.
That means that, probably not going to rain frogs tomorrow, but he believes everything I say, so he's a little bit naive or inexperienced.
So naive is not really a bad way of describing a person, is it?
No, but it can be. So you want to be careful. Some people, if you say that they're being naive, it's offensive. So you have to be careful when you say this.
Okay. Moving on, we also had an interesting adjective that described another person, and it was to be reckless. I can also be reckless.
Reckless. Okay, so someone who is reckless often does things without thinking, sometimes things that are dangerous. For example, Marco, I think that driving a car without wearing your seatbelt is very reckless. Okay, that means that you're not thinking about safety.
Right. So a person that is reckless is kind of a synonym of being a little bit dangerous to be around.
That's right. Or someone who does things without thinking about their consequences, their results.
Okay. And also, along with reckless, the test said that this person was clumsy.
Oh, I love this word. There was a very famous commercial when I was growing up in America on the television. It was all about young students at high school who are clumsy, and so they should buy this special folder for their schoolwork to help them because they're so clumsy.
And they're dropping their papers and their books.
Exactly. So someone who is clumsy often falls down or hits their head or trips or drops their things. If I drop something on the floor and break it, my mother might say, "You're so clumsy.
Clumsy fingers.
You should be more careful."
Yeah. So clumsy, is this insulting if you say, "Oh, you're so clumsy"?
No, it's not so bad.
Okay.
There are worse things to say. But if someone often drops things, you can call them clumsy. Or you can also say, "You're such a butterfingers."
Butterfingers.
That means that your fingers are like butter. They're very slippery. You drop everything.
Okay. So clumsy and reckless, they are negative adjectives, right? They're saying that you do things wrong. So it's not really a good thing to be reckless or clumsy.
No, it's not really a good thing. These are not positive characteristics.
Okay, good. So we took a look at those 5, which are very good about one of the people that took the test. Let's move on now to more language and more adjectives on Language Takeaway Part 2.
Language takeaway.
All right, so in this part, we're going to take a look at positive attributes about a person, right? They're all good things about someone.
That's right. And this first one is very good. Extroverted. Extroverted.
A person that's extroverted.
So a synonym of this word is outgoing.
Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing.
That's right, because extro means going out. Out. So in this case, someone who is extroverted often meets new people, goes out and does social things, goes to the movies, goes out with friends, meets strangers, talks to strangers. Again, it's like being outgoing. Someone who's comfortable with new people.
And what about the opposite? So we said that shy is the opposite of outgoing. What would be the opposite for extroverted?
Extroverted's opposite is introverted. Intro means in, not out. So that means someone who's very shy, who is uncomfortable with new people.
Okay. And, well, apart from being extroverted, the test also said that this person is very diligent.
Ooh, diligent is a great word. This is a word you want to hear from your teachers and your bosses. Okay, if someone says, "Marco, you are very diligent at work."
What does that mean?
It means you're very careful. You always do things very thoroughly.
And also quickly, right? When you tell them to do something, they do it immediately.
That's right. So a diligent worker always does a good job and does it in a timely manner.
Okay. And moving on to our third adjective. This one is kind of strange. It kind of sounds like monogamy, but it's magnanimous.
Magnanimous.
All right.
Magnanimous. This is a great word. We hear this a lot in the newspaper or on TV about usually famous people. He did something very magnanimous, or it was a magnanimous gesture. This describes a person who does things for the benefit of other people. Someone who is thinking about the well-being and the health and the lives of others.
So it would be a person that likes to share, or a person that's not selfish.
Right. So if you donate half of your salary this month to victims of an earthquake, I would say, Marco, that's so magnanimous of you. You're so magnanimous.
Okay. Awesome. And apart from being magnanimous, if a person is eloquent, I guess that's also a positive attribute.
Oh, yeah. This is another really good one. Someone who is eloquent is a very good speaker. Okay. This means that when they talk, they sound very, very good.
Okay.
You know, someone who's eloquent uses big words, but is also very good at making other people listen.
Okay. So it's usually about speaking. So you would say he's an eloquent speaker.
That's right. So someone who is eloquent is fun or good or interesting to listen to.
Okay. And our last description for personalities and the way people are is a person that's daring.
Well, this can be a good thing or a bad thing. It depends on who you're talking about. Because sometimes daring people are also reckless. And this can be dangerous.
Okay.
But sometimes someone who is daring can be doing good things. Like a daring business person might take risks that other people don't take.
Okay. So a person that's daring dares to take risks, right?
You are very daring. You, Marco, are daring because recently you jumped out of an airplane,
Yeah.
right? You did some skydiving.
So that would be considered daring.
That's very daring. I'm not daring like that because I would never jump out of an airplane.
Right. Okay. So we took a look at basically 10 key words here, a lot of adjectives, but they're a great way to describe yourself. Maybe if you're at a job interview, sometimes a typical question is, how would you describe yourself using 3 adjectives?
I'm extroverted, I'm diligent, and I'm open-minded.
Yeah, that's awesome. See? You sound really professional when you say things
Give
like
me the
this.
job.
Yeah, exactly. So, and even if you took a look at some of the negative adjectives that we used, it's also a typical job interview question is like, what are your biggest faults? So you can say, well, maybe I am superstitious and naive, right?
You wouldn't want to say that
in a job interview. But I mean, I don't know, maybe. Because you have to say something, right?
You do, but I would say sometimes I'm a bit too daring, or sometimes I take things personally. We can talk about that another time. But I think for now, it'd be good if we listen to today's dialogue one more time and really got a good sense of how to use these words.
Okay, class, settle down. I have the results of your individual personality tests. I am going to hand them out, and if you'd like, you can read them out loud to the rest of the class.
I'll read mine.
Okay, go ahead.
It says here that I am adventurous, outgoing, and easygoing. It says that I'm a little superstitious and occasionally naive. That's not true.
Well, the test isn't 100% accurate. Is that all it says?
No. It also says that I'm open-minded with great ambition, but that I can also be reckless and clumsy. This is stupid.
Okay. Anyone else want to read theirs?
I'll go. It says that I'm an extroverted, well-balanced person. It says I am generous, outspoken, and very diligent. This is so true. It also says that I am a magnanimous, eloquent, and daring. This is totally me.
Whatever. These tests are baloney.
All right, we're back. So now going into descriptions. What are 3 adjectives that you would use to describe someone that you hate the most? So going back to describing people, how would you describe one of the main things that really irritate you about someone? Maybe if they are clumsy, it really bothers you that people are clumsy, or reckless maybe.
I see what you're saying. Well, I really like extroverted, hardworking people. But in English, we have a word to describe someone who is too extroverted, too hardworking. And we call this person a type A personality. Type A.
Type A.
The letter A. And this means someone who works very, very hard, who is very, very serious, but who's always anxious, always needs to get things done, right? And so these people can be very hard to work with because they're controlling and they're never calm.
So
right?
they're not easygoing.
No, they're not easygoing. They always want to do what they want to do. They're usually not very good listeners. And so this type A personality is something that I would say I'm not a big fan of at work or even when we're going out because, with friends, it's hard to be around someone who always has to control you.
This is very interesting. And I'm sure our listeners have a lot of different ways to describe things that irritate them, maybe about people, or maybe attributes that they really admire about someone.
That's right. And I want to give everybody a little bit of homework today. Go home, or if you're at home, look up a word in the dictionary that describes yourself.
Yeah,
An
that's a good one.
adjective to describe yourself.
Describing personalities, understanding different people. What is personality? A personality is the way a person thinks, feels, and behaves. Everyone has a different personality, which makes people unique and special. Some people are kind and friendly, while others are serious and quiet. Some people love talking, while others prefer to listen. When we describe a person's personality, we talk about their character traits. A trait is a special quality that makes a person the way they are. Understanding different personalities helps us communicate better, make friends, and work with others. Common words and phrases for describing personality. Here are some useful words and phrases to describe people's personalities. 1. Positive personality traits. These are traits that people admire and appreciate. Friendly, a person who is warm and kind to others. Example, Emma is very friendly. She talks to everyone and makes them feel welcome. Kind, a person who cares about others and helps them. Example, he is kind to his classmates and always helps them with their homework. Honest, a person who tells the truth and does not lie. Example, she is very honest. If she makes a mistake, she admits it. Hardworking, a person who works a lot and does their best. Example, John is hardworking. He studies every day to get good grades. Confident, a person who believes in themselves. Example, she is confident in public speaking and never feels nervous. Patient, a person who stays calm and does not get angry quickly. Example, teachers need to be patient because students learn at different speeds. Creative, a person who has many new ideas. Example, he is creative and loves drawing and writing stories. Generous, a person who likes to give and share with others. Example, she's generous and always shares her food with her friends. Polite, a person who has good manners and is respectful. Example, he is polite and always says please and thank you. 2. Negative personality traits. These are traits that can be difficult or cause problems. Rude, a person who does not have good manners. Example, he was rude to the waiter and did not say thank you. Lazy, a person who does not like to work or do anything. Example, she is lazy and never does her homework. Impatient, a person who gets angry when they have to wait. Example, he is impatient and does not like waiting in line. Arrogant, a person who thinks they are better than others. Example, she is arrogant and never listens to anyone else's ideas. Selfish, a person who only thinks about themselves. Example, he is selfish and does not share his toys. Shy, a person who is quiet and afraid to talk to others. Example, she is shy and does not like speaking in class. Moody, a person whose feelings change quickly. Example, he is moody. Sometimes he is happy, and sometimes he is angry for no reason. Bossy, a person who likes to tell others what to do. Example, she is bossy and always tells her little brother what to do. Stubborn, a person who does not change their opinion easily. Example, he is stubborn and never admits when he is wrong. Types of personalities. There are many different types of personalities. Some people are outgoing, while others are quiet. Some people are serious, while others are funny. Here are some common personality types. 1. The outgoing person. An outgoing person is someone who loves meeting people, talking, and being social. They feel happy when they are around others. Words to describe them. Friendly. Talkative. Confident. Energetic. Example, Sarah is very outgoing. She talks to everyone at school and makes new friends easily. 2. The quiet person. A quiet person does not talk a lot and enjoys being alone or with a small group of people. Words to describe them. Shy. Calm. Thoughtful. Patient. Example, David is a quiet person. He listens more than he talks and enjoys reading books alone. 3. The funny person. A funny person loves to make people laugh and smile. They tell jokes and enjoy being happy. Words to describe them. Cheerful. Silly. Energetic. Creative. Example, Mike is very funny. He always tells jokes and makes people laugh. 4. The serious person. A serious person focuses on their work and responsibilities. They do not joke much and like to plan things carefully. Words to describe them. Responsible. Hardworking. Honest. Organized. Example, Anna is very serious about her studies. She always does her homework on time and gets good grades. 5. The kind and caring person. A kind person cares about others and helps them when they need it. Words to describe them: helpful, loving, generous, polite. Example: Emma is kind to everyone. She always helps her friends when they have problems. How to describe someone's personality in a sentence. Here are some ways to describe a person's personality. He is very friendly and always smiles at people. She is a hard-working student who studies every day. My brother is shy, so he does not talk much in class. Our teacher is very patient and never gets angry. He is a funny guy who makes everyone laugh. Why is it important to understand personalities? Understanding personalities helps us make friends. We can find people with similar personalities. Communicate better. We know how to talk to different people. Work well with others. We can understand how different people think. Solve problems. When we understand people's personalities, we can avoid misunderstandings. Conclusion. Every person is unique because of their personality. Some people are friendly, some are quiet, some are serious, and some are funny. Learning how to describe personalities helps us understand others better and improve our English skills. Now, think about yourself. How would you describe your personality? Are you talkative or shy? Are you serious or funny? Try to use the words from this lesson to talk about yourself and the people you know.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Ignorant, naive, having or showing no regard for danger. Reckless, be careless, lacking skill or physical coordinate. Clumsy, easy to entertain new ideas. Open-minded, be quiet. Settle down, showing faith in magic or chance ignorant of laws. Superstitious, a person concerned more with practical realities. Extrovert, express yourself clearly and effectively. Eloquent,
Let's try that faster.
easy to entertain new ideas. Open-minded, showing faith in magic or chance ignorant of laws. Superstitious, having or showing no regard for danger. Reckless, express yourself clearly and effectively. Eloquent, be careless, lacking skill or physical coordinate. Clumsy, ignorant, naive, a person concerned more with practical realities. Extrovert, be quiet. Settle down,
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
naive. Jake is so naive. He believes anything you tell him. Naive. Many websites try to take advantage of naive people. Naive. Stop being so naive. You cannot believe everything you see on TV. Reckless. Stanley was arrested for reckless driving. Reckless. You are so reckless. You have to be more careful. Reckless. My wife was reckless with our finances, and so now we are broke. Open-minded. I always keep an open mind towards trying new things. Open-minded. I think Europeans are more open-minded than Latin Americans. Open-minded. Shirley is a very open-minded girl. You can talk to her about anything. Clumsy. I am so clumsy. I accidentally hit my head with the door. Clumsy. He is very clumsy. He is always dropping things. Clumsy. I can't hold delicate things in my hands. I have clumsy fingers. Eloquent. He has an eloquent way of speaking. Eloquent. The priest gave an eloquent sermon about love today. Eloquent. He made a very eloquent speech over dinner today.
Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Ignorant. Naive. Having or showing no regard for danger. Reckless. Be careless, lacking skill or physical coordinate. Clumsy. Easy to entertain new ideas. Open-minded. Be quiet. Settle down. Showing faith in magic or chance ignorant of laws. Superstitious. A person concerned more with practical realities. Extrovert. Express yourself clearly and effectively. Eloquent.
Let's try that faster.
Easy to entertain new ideas. Open-minded. Showing faith in magic or chance ignorant of laws. Superstitious. Having or showing no regard for danger. Reckless. Express yourself clearly and effectively. Eloquent. Be careless, lacking skill or physical coordinate. Clumsy. Ignorant. Naive. A person concerned more with practical realities. Extrovert. Be quiet. Settle down.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Naive. Jake is so naive. He believes anything you tell him. Naive. Many websites try to take advantage of naive people. Naive. Stop being so naive. You cannot believe everything you see on TV. Reckless. Stanley was arrested for reckless driving. Reckless. You are so reckless. You have to be more careful. Reckless. My wife was reckless with our finances, and so now we are broke. Open-minded. I always keep an open mind towards trying new things. Open-minded. I think Europeans are more open-minded than Latin Americans. Open-minded. Shirley is a very open-minded girl. You can talk to her about anything. Clumsy. I am so clumsy. I accidentally hit my head with the door. Clumsy. He is very clumsy. He is always dropping things. Clumsy. I can't hold delicate things in my hands. I have clumsy fingers. Eloquent. He has an eloquent way of speaking. Eloquent. The priest gave an eloquent sermon about love today. Eloquent. He made a very eloquent speech over dinner today.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're bringing you part 2 of the presidential farewell speech of President Eisenhower.
That's right. So we saw in a previous lesson the beginning of this speech. Now we're going to look towards the end of the speech. Now we must tell you as well that we did change the speech a little bit, right?
We changed it a little bit to make it a little bit more comprehensible, and also we did shorten it. The speech isn't this short. We did take out a lot of stuff.
All right. So again, Marco, why are we looking at this speech? What are we learning from it?
Well, in this last part of the presidential farewell speech, there are a lot of great words that are more difficult and very poetic, so you can use them in different formal circumstances or just to sound a little bit more well-spoken.
Yeah. And we also, again, are going to look at some really quite difficult and challenging structures that we hope you can use maybe when you're giving a formal talk or even in your writing if you want to sound quite professional.
Okay, very good. So why don't we listen to the dialogue for the first time? Let's listen how President Eisenhower says goodbye, and then we'll come back and look at the words.
We now stand 10 years past the midpoint of a century that has witnessed 4 major wars among great nations. 3 of these involved our own country. Despite the carnage of these conflicts, America is today the strongest, the most influential, and the most productive nation in the world. We are understandably proud of this preeminence, yet we realize that America's leadership and prestige depend not merely upon our unmatched material progress, riches, and military strength, but on how we use our power in the interests of world peace and human betterment. Throughout America's adventure in free government, such basic purposes have been to keep the peace, to foster progress in human achievement, and to enhance liberty, dignity, and integrity among peoples and among nations. We pray that peoples of all faiths, all races, all nations, may have their great human needs satisfied, that those now denied opportunity shall come to enjoy it to the full, that all who yearn for freedom may experience its spiritual blessings, that those who have freedom will understand also its heavy responsibilities, that all who are insensitive to the needs of others will learn charity, that the scourges of poverty, disease, and ignorance will be made to disappear from the earth, and that, in the goodness of time, all peoples will come to live together in a peace guaranteed by the binding force of mutual respect and love. Now, on Friday noon, I am to become a private citizen. I am proud to do so. I look forward to it. Thank you, and good night.
Well, that certainly was a very moving speech, hey?
Very moving and, to a certain point, a little bit religious, huh?
Yeah, I think we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later, but let's concentrate on the language now. So we'll go to language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, on language takeaway today, we'll start with our first word, and it's preeminence.
All right, we are understandably proud of this preeminence.
A preeminence.
So preeminence, what is this?
Basically, it's the state of being the leader of something.
Okay, so in this case, America was the preeminent nation.
Right, so they were coming up, they were very prosperous, so they had a preeminence in the world.
All right, so I think we can see here you can use this as an adjective, a preeminent nation, or as a noun, an uncountable noun, the preeminence of our state.
Very good. Since we can use this word as a noun and an adjective, why don't we listen to some more examples so we can get a better understanding of it?
Example 1.
Now please welcome Dr. Frank Hicks, the world's most preeminent expert on nuclear biology.
Example 2.
He's been a leader in his field for 25 years, and his preeminence has never been questioned.
Example 3.
Carol Dixon is one of the most preeminent experts in green technology.
All right, well, Eisenhower was talking about all of the things that the American people had done since they became a free nation, and one of these things was to foster progress in human achievement.
Foster progress in human achievement.
Well, I like this verb a lot, to foster something.
So if I say to foster progress or to foster something, what am I saying?
To help something grow and develop.
To take care of it, to nurse it.
Yeah. We very commonly hear this word associated with children, right?
A foster child.
Yeah. So what's that?
If you have a foster child, you are basically taking care of a child because the parents can't look after him. It's not like adopting because it's not actually legal. It's just that you're helping somebody out by raising this child.
Right. So we can see the connection there, a foster child to foster something. But this is really a great word, and I think it would help to give a couple of examples of how we could use it.
So for example, I can say our company is looking to foster better creativity in the workplace.
Or we could say, here at Praxis Language, we foster the development of your English.
Very good. So the word foster. Now, moving on, in his speech, he was talking about nations and faiths and different types of groups, and he said, all who yearn for freedom.
All right, this is a great phrase, all who yearn for freedom.
To yearn.
So to yearn for something.
Now, if I yearn for freedom or I yearn for something, it's basically that I really want it in my heart.
Yeah, you really wish for it in a way that's almost painful. You want it so badly.
Now, you wouldn't say like, I'm yearning for ice cream, would you?
No, unless you were locked up in prison and hadn't had ice cream for 55 years.
Exactly. So it's usually related to something that's very difficult to get or something like freedom or yearning for...
That's really important.
Exactly. Something very important. And now for our last word, President Eisenhower was talking about charity, he was talking about freedom, and he mentioned the scourges of poverty.
Okay, so scourges.
The scourges of poverty.
Scourges is a really difficult but interesting word. So why don't we hear a few more examples to help us understand it?
Example 1.
Malaria is a disease that continues to be a scourge to the developing world.
Example 2.
One day we hope to eliminate the scourge of cancer.
Example 3.
NATO promises to wipe out the scourge of terrorism.
So as we can see, the scourges of something basically is the cause of pain or suffering. So now relating it back to the text, we see scourges of poverty.
Yeah, scourges of poverty, scourges of disease, and scourges of ignorance. All right, so we can see that poverty, ignorance, and disease cause a lot of really terrible things, right?
Exactly. So that's why we say they are scourges.
Okay, so scourges. Now, so that brings us to the end of our words for takeaway today. But, as we talked about earlier, we've got some really difficult and interesting structures to look at now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so in Fluency Builder, we'll start off with the very first sentence of the paragraph. When he said, we now stand 10 years past the midpoint of a century.
Okay, so I love this phrase. We now stand 10 years past the midpoint of the century.
Now, it's interesting because he is making reference to the future in the present.
And he's using a great phrase to do that. We now stand.
Now, we can change it a little bit and use the first part, we now stand, in different circumstances. So why don't we listen to a couple of examples?
Example 1.
We now stand before you to declare our love and be united in marriage.
Example 2.
I stand before this court and declare my innocence.
Example 3.
Together, we now stand before this great challenge and we will fight arm in arm to defeat poverty.
Right, so you can see that this is a wonderful phrase to use maybe in a formal speech, right?
Right, or a wedding again, or a formal ceremony.
Yeah. So, and it gives you this idea, this sort of very poetic image of people sort of almost standing at the cliff, standing before some big change that's about to take place.
Exactly. So 10 years past the midpoint of a century, the United States has witnessed 4 major wars, right?
Okay.
And, well, he said, despite the carnage of these conflicts, America is today the strongest, the most influential, and most productive nation in the world.
Okay, so a great structure here. Despite the carnage of these conflicts, America today is the strongest, blah, 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 blah.
Right. Now, let's look at that first word, despite the carnage of these conflicts.
Okay, so carnage, what's that?
Carnage is like a massacre, right? Where many people got hurt or killed.
Okay, so a pretty violent situation when a lot of people died.
Mm-hmm. And now, why does he use this word despite?
Okay, so he's basically saying even though we had all of this death and violence in this century, we're still the greatest nation, blah, 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 blah.
Exactly, that's exactly it. I can say, for example, despite the economic crisis the world is going through, our company has an enormous opportunity to grow and be more profitable.
Okay, or if we want to take it and imagine we're at a wedding, we might say something like this. We could say, despite the many difficulties this couple has faced, they have a very bright and happy future together.
Very good. And now, if we take a look at the last paragraph, it's very interesting because it's one sentence.
It's a really long sentence.
It's a very long sentence. So even though it's not a phrase, let's take a look at the punctuation of this paragraph.
Okay, so Eisenhower starts out by saying, we pray that peoples of all faiths, all races, all nations may have their great human needs satisfied.
And then we have a semicolon there, right?
Right.
So why do we have a semicolon?
Well, here's what he's doing. He's saying, we pray for something.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's listing the many different things that he's praying for.
Okay, so it's basically a list.
Yep. Okay, so we know that when you're writing a list, we commonly use commas between all the things that are in this list.
Mm-hmm.
But here, because they are long and complex ideas, a comma is not enough.
Right.
You need a semicolon. Okay, so we can see here from the text that the semicolon is a great way to separate ideas, big ideas, complex ideas in a list.
Exactly. So you can use it and not necessarily have to end your sentence or that each idea become one sentence. You can all just make it in one big sentence.
Yep. And actually I remember back to high school, Marco, my teacher told me, hey, if you throw in a few semicolons into your writing and do it properly, you'll really impress people.
All right. So this is good advice that you can take and throw in a couple of semicolons, a little bit of commas here and there, and it'll look like you really know how to write.
Yep. Okay, so with that in mind, why don't we listen to what Eisenhower wrote one last time?
We now stand 10 years past the midpoint of a century that has witnessed 4 major wars among great nations. 3 of these involved our own country. Despite the carnage of these conflicts, America is today the strongest, the most influential, and the most productive nation in the world. We are understandably proud of this preeminence, yet we realize that America's leadership and prestige depend not merely upon our unmatched material progress, riches, and military strength, but on how we use our power in the interests of world peace and human betterment. Throughout America's adventure in free government, such basic purposes have been to keep the peace, to foster progress in human achievement, and to enhance liberty, dignity, and integrity among peoples and among nations. We pray that peoples of all faiths, all races, all nations, may have their great human needs satisfied, that those now denied opportunity shall come to enjoy it to the full, that all who yearn for freedom may experience its spiritual blessings, that those who have freedom will understand also its heavy responsibilities, that all who are insensitive to the needs of others will learn charity, that the scourges of poverty, disease, and ignorance will be made to disappear from the earth, and that, in the goodness of time, all peoples will come to live together in a peace guaranteed by the binding force of mutual respect and love. Now, on Friday noon, I am to become a private citizen. I am proud to do so. I look forward to it. Thank you, and good night.
All right, we're back, and we're here again with Pete, our voice actor for the second part of the dialogue. And Pete, we have a couple more questions for you today.
Cool.
So I hear in Eisenhower's speech that he keeps referencing God. Like, he keeps saying, I pray, blah, 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 blah. He said Godspeed, blah, 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 blah. So what's up with that? Why is he talking about God?
Well, this is a very interesting question. Traditionally, America has had a really clear boundary between church and state, and you'll hear a lot of rhetoric these days that says, we're a Christian nation and we were founded as a Christian nation. Well, that's baloney.
Baloney, so it's not true.
At the time when the country was founded 200 years ago, it was overwhelmingly Christian. If the founding fathers, as we call them, like George Washington and them, if they had wanted a Christian nation, they could have had it. They explicitly did not. And a lot of people since then have gotten that confused. And now when we have a very large Muslim population, we have Buddhists, we have people in all various different kinds of Mormonism and everything, it's even less possible now. So I'm kind of baffled when I hear people say that America is a Christian nation.
But you even have it now in the coins, or on the money, right? It says, "In God we trust."
Right. That started in the early 20th century. I think that was Teddy Roosevelt era. He opposed that. Roosevelt was really opposed to that, but...
And then what happened? They approved it.
Yeah, and people said later, like Eisenhower talking about this stuff, in America we have something called the Pledge of Allegiance, which I don't think you guys probably have.
Not in Canada.
yeah. Obviously, you wouldn't do it to America, but to your own. It's kind of
like a salute to the flag, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit nationalist. I did it growing up. You put your hand over your heart and you face the flag and you say, "I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." That part about one nation under God, that was added in the 50s as a kind of a way of showing that America is not, quote-unquote, a godless communist country.
Wow.
Yeah, because communism teaches, no religion, and so they make sure we're not communists,
Okay, but we don't think that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about tolerance, so I think that's kind of absurd.
Okay, so what I think is really interesting, though, is that every political speech, every time a political leader has to say something publicly, he'll always quote God, right?
Right, and they'll often end a speech with, thank you and God bless America or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which, for me as a Canadian is really strange. Like, if a Canadian president said, "God bless Canada," no one would know what to do. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
I had an ex-girlfriend who was British, and she, Tony Blair started with that a couple times. He said, and God bless us all or something, and she was just put off by it, and she was like, the Brits will never take this, and they didn't. Yeah, no one was impressed.
All right, well, an interesting feature of American history, politics, and society. So Thanks for that insight, Pete.
Cool, my pleasure.
Yeah, and if you guys have any comments or any suggestions about this lesson or any upcoming lessons, just let us know.
Or American politics in general.
Cool, I'll try to stop in on the forum and see if I can answer a question or two.
That would be awesome.
So visit us at englishpod.com, and Marco, myself, and Pete are around to answer your questions.
All right, we'll see you guys there.
Thanks for downloading, and goodbye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. To help something grow or develop.
Foster.
Badly affected by disease, pain, grief, etc.
Stricken.
To feel a strong desire or wish for something.
Yearn.
In U.S. politics, a member or supporter of the Democratic Party, the more liberal of the two main political parties in the U.S.
Democrat.
More important, skillful, or successful than other.
Preeminence.
Belonging to the Republican Party, the more conservative of the two main political parties in the U.S.
Republican.
Someone or something that causes a great amount of trouble.
Scourge.
In the U.S., the wife of the president-elect.
First Lady.
To be in a particular place or position.
We now stand.
An operation or series of operations energetically pursued to accomplish a purpose.
Campaign.
Let's try that faster. In the U.S., the wife of the president-elect.
First Lady.
To be in a particular place or position.
We now stand.
Belonging to the Republican Party, the more conservative of the two main political parties in the U.S.
Republican.
Badly affected by disease, pain, grief, etc.
Stricken.
To help something grow or develop.
Foster.
To feel a strong desire or wish for something.
Yearn.
An operation or series of operations energetically pursued to accomplish a purpose.
Campaign.
More important, skillful, or successful than other.
Preeminence.
Someone or something that causes a great amount of trouble.
Scourge.
In U.S. politics, a member or supporter of the Democratic Party, the more liberal of the two main political parties in the U.S.
Democrat.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
We now stand. We now stand before you to declare our love and be united in marriage. We now stand. I stand before this court and declare my innocence. We now stand. Together, we now stand before this great challenge, and we will fight it arm in arm to defeat poverty. Yearn. We must fight for those who yearn for their freedoms. Yearn. In the pasts of all great men, you will find a yearning to learn and to succeed. Yearn. I'm yearning to find someone who will love me for me. Preeminence. Now, please welcome Dr. Frank Hicks, the world's most preeminent expert on nuclear biology. Preeminence. He's been a leader in his field for 25 years, and his preeminence has never been questioned. Preeminence. Carol Dixon is one of the most preeminent experts in green technology. Foster. It is our creed to foster and maintain a spirit of fraternity. Foster. To restore our country to the glory of its past, we must foster an attitude of determination in social service. Foster. Unsanitary conditions help foster the spread of disease. Scourge. One day we hope to eliminate the scourge of cancer. Scourge. Malaria is a disease that continues to be a scourge to the developing world. Scourge. NATO promises to wipe out the scourge of terrorism.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another lesson here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine. So, Marco, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are taking a look at a guy who is a little bit too afraid of people in general.
There's a good word for this in English, someone who's almost too afraid all the time, someone who is overly cautious. We call this person paranoid.
Okay, so if you are paranoid, you think that everyone is wants to hurt you or that everyone is out to get you.
Wait, did you hear that?
That's
No, did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
Someone at the door. So, Marco, can you check the... Okay, that's paranoid. You know, you're always hearing voices and noises and things.
Yeah, so a paranoid, somebody that is paranoid. All right, so why don't we listen to this dialogue for the first time and see what this person is all paranoid about.
There it is again.
Dan, dude, you have to come over to my house right now.
Is everything okay?
Just get over here.
Come in. Quickly.
So, since when is your house a bank?
What do you mean?
I mean, what's up with the 4 locks and iron bars on your windows?
Security, Dan! Security! You can never be too safe, you know. A lot of sickos out there. Just the other day, they caught that peeping Tom, red-handed. Had a high-power telescope and binoculars by his window.
What's the matter with you? Why are you acting all paranoid?
Paranoid? I'm not paranoid! I'm cautious! You see, Dan, we have to be on guard at all times. People just invade your privacy as if they knew you. Telemarketers, solicitors, even your bank. They have way too much information. I like to keep everything on a need-to-know basis.
Okay. Well, what did you want to see me about?
You're being watched! Be careful, Dan. Be careful.
All right, we're back. So, I think this guy is a little bit too cautious.
I would have to agree with you, and I would go so far as to call him paranoid. But there's a lot of great stuff in this dialogue that we can use in a lot of different situations. So let's take a look at some of these new words in today's language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, the first word on language takeaway today is sicko.
Sicko is also the name of a movie that was a documentary famous in America by Michael Moore, actually.
Right.
But sicko, in this context, means someone who is a bit weird in a bad way.
So if you tell somebody you're sick, but like in that tone, right? You're saying you're sick. You're a sick person.
You're gross.
Right. You're saying you're gross.
Or people who have inappropriate humor, who make jokes about not so nice things.
Right.
Yeah, they're sick. But in this case, sickos are people who maybe like to hurt other people, or people who are a little bit crazy, people who are not normal.
So it's not a nice way of calling someone crazy, right? If you say, oh, he's a sicko, it's not really nice.
Not at all. It's a way of saying that you're almost scared of this person because they're kind of weird and almost they have problems.
All right, so sicko. Moving on to our next word. We saw that the guy was afraid of
telemarketers.
Exactly. So what are these guys?
Well, we've got 2 words being put together here, tele and market. So tele...
Like telephone.
Telephone. Over communication. So they're not in person. They're people who call you up and market things. They try to sell you stuff over the phone.
So this is very common. You get a phone call on your cell phone and they ask you if you're happy with your long distance calling plan or if you need new TV cable or something like that.
And they always call during dinner or late at night, which drives me nuts.
Exactly.
So these are telemarketers. These are people who call you trying to sell things to you.
And very similar to these is a solicitors.
Exactly. But the big difference here with solicitors and telemarketers is that solicitors actually go to your house. They knock on your door.
So they're also called door-to-door salesmen or saleswomen.
That's right. So door-to-door salesmen, they go from door to door trying to sell things. But in this case, a solicitor is someone who comes to your house to try to get you to do something, to buy something.
All right, very good. And moving on to our next word, we have a peeping Tom.
That's right. We heard this a little bit earlier in the dialogue, and a peeping Tom is again a negative thing to say about someone. A peeping Tom, well, the word peep means to look, but kind of like,
look.
Yeah, it's a quick look. So peeping Tom is a person who spies on other people.
Okay, so a synonym of a peeping Tom would be a voyeur.
A voyeur. So someone who, without getting caught, tries to look at other people while they're in their homes. And so it's really bad because it's usually inappropriate. It's usually people who are watching women get undressed or...
Right.
Yeah.
So a peeping Tom is just an informal way of saying a voyeur or somebody who is spying on people. So those are the words for today in language takeaway. Let's listen to our dialogue again, and then we'll be right back.
Dan, dude, you have to come over to my house right now.
Is everything okay?
Just get over here. Come in. Quickly.
So, since when is your house a bank?
What do you mean?
I mean, what's up with the 4 locks and iron bars on your windows?
Security, Dan! Security! You can never be too safe, you know. A lot of sickos out there. Just the other day, they caught that peeping Tom red-handed. Had a high-power telescope and binoculars by his window.
What's the matter with you? Why are you acting all paranoid?
Paranoid? I'm not paranoid! I'm cautious! You see, Dan, we have to be on guard at all time. People just invade your privacy as if they knew you. Telemarketers, solicitors, even your bank. They have way too much information. I like to keep everything on a need-to-know basis.
Okay. Well, what did you want to see me about?
You're being watched! Be careful, Dan. Be careful.
Now we're back, and we had some interesting phrases in the dialogue. The first one being, you can never be too safe.
Fluency builder.
All right, so this is a common mom phrase. You often hear mothers say this when they're sending their kids off to school or whatever. Say, don't talk to strangers, and the kid says, well, why not? You can never be too safe, right? It's good to err on the side of caution.
So it's okay to be extra safe or extra cautious, just in case.
Exactly. You never know what's going to happen, so it's better to be cautious than not. And that's what this person's saying. He's saying, well, security, it's important. You can never be too safe. You never know what might happen.
Is there another way that we can combine it? Like, you can never be too careful?
Exactly.
Basically the same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
All right. What's our next phrase?
Our next phrase is about this peeping Tom, this person that they caught. They caught him red-handed.
We caught you red-handed.
Or he's been caught red-handed.
So what does that mean?
It's a very colorful phrase, and I don't just mean that because we're calling him red-handed, but to catch red-handed means to catch someone while they're doing something wrong. So if I see you breaking into someone's house and I say, Marco, stop! I'm catching you! Stop now! I just caught you red-handed.
You saw me doing the act.
Exactly.
And another way of saying this is you caught him with his hand in the cookie jar.
Okay, and this is another great phrase. You can imagine a child who sees the cookies in a very special jar on the counter in the kitchen. And mom says, don't eat the cookies. Well, the child goes into the kitchen and sees the cookies and opens the jar and puts his hand in the jar. And then mom comes and says, caught you. That's a boy with his hand or a child with their hand in the cookie jar.
So it's the same thing. I can say, I caught you with your hand in the cookie jar.
Or you were caught red-handed.
All right. And our last phrase for today is, you are on a need-to-know basis.
All right. This is a great one. This is often said in spy movies, I think. So we say, you're on a need-to-know basis. That means that if you really need to know something, then I will tell you.
Right.
But if not, I won't.
So you only have the information that is necessary, no more or less, right? You're on a need-to-know basis.
Right, so I say, tell me, Marco, tell me what happened. I want to know.
Right, and I can say, no, you're on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know this. All right, so a need-to-know basis, as you say, very popular among spy movies and government movies and stuff like that.
Conspiracy movies.
Yeah. All right, so let's listen to this dialogue for the very last time, and we'll be right back.
Dan, dude, you have to come over to my house right now.
Is everything okay?
Just get over here. come in. Quickly.
So, since when is your house a bank?
What do you mean?
I mean, what's up with the 4 locks and iron bars on your windows?
Security, Dan! Security! You can never be too safe, you know. A lot of sickos out there. Just the other day, they caught that peeping Tom, red-handed. Had a high-power telescope and binoculars by his window.
What's the matter with you? Why are you acting all paranoid?
Paranoid? I'm not paranoid! I'm cautious! You see, Dan, we have to be on guard at all times. People just invade your privacy as if they knew you. Telemarketers, solicitors, even your bank. They have way too much information. I like to keep everything on a need-to-know basis.
Okay. Well, what did you want to see me about?
You're being watched. Be careful, Dan. Be careful.
All right, so the guy's a little bit paranoid. There's another word for this as well, similar, right? It's schizo.
Schizophrenia is a disease, and a lot of people have it, and it's not too uncommon. But a popular slang word to say someone's crazy is schizo.
So if you guys remember this movie, A Beautiful Mind, it's all about this famous mathematician named John Nash. And, well, he was a genius. He came up with game theory and a lot of subsequent usage of this for economy, for many things. But it was proven that he was schizophrenic, right?
A paranoid schizophrenic. So not only did he kind of have experienced reality in different ways, but he's also paranoid. So he was afraid that the government was trying to kill him. And so he was irrationally afraid of everything going on around him. And it made him very unsafe because he could hurt himself or hurt other people.
And the interesting thing about this is that there is no actual cure for it. You just learn to cope and live with it. So you never really get cured. You just kind of live with it.
Learn how to understand what's real and what's not.
So it's interesting. It's a great movie also, by the way, if you've never seen it or you get a chance to watch it. And that's all the time we have for today. So if you have any questions, doubts, or comments, please come to our website, englishpot.com. And we're there to answer them.
Yeah, we hope to see you there. And until next time, English Potties.
All right. Bye-bye.